Hi everyone, welcome to Observability Guru. We are having this Datadog tutorial 2026, and as part of that, we are going through a Datadog driven tutorial on AWS. As part of this, we have already covered enabling infrastructure observability and application performance monitoring. Part of that, we have enabled the metrics, the traces, and the logs. And we also did real user enablement during the previous video. And today we're going to create our first dashboard. And this dashboard is going to be a single truth dashboard where we will bringing in everything which we have built from a service level indicator perspective. And so this is time where we are bringing in the SRE, site reliability engineering flavor into observability. So now that we have all the data, let's go and create our first dashboard. So I'll go into the dashboard list, or I'll create a new dashboard. I'll give a name called car rental app. And next, I want to create this into a couple of groups. So what I'll do is let us check an empty group. So here we will make it real user monitoring, observability, and let me create a time series. So we're going to use a lot of time series widgets as part of our uh, Datadog dashboard building. So we'll look at, so this will be RAM and we will look at views. So we want to look at all the views. For 1 week duration, let me set this to 1 week. So initially I want more of a query view. I want to see the number, and this will be total page views. So we will have it like this. And I also like to uh, kind of get a trending, like how this uh, traffic is trending. Like it. Yeah. So I just simply have to make it a time series again. So I'll have the trend. So if I make it 1 day, the duration, you will see the traffic. So after total page views, the next objective for me, I can clone this easily. So I'll show you some of the best practices, the easy way to for us to do it. I want to see the response time. So again, RAM views, we'll look at the page loading time. And here again, I can clone this and make this more of a loading time. So we have both the total views and the average loading time. So this is in second. Then after that, one of the other important thing for me is to get all the pages. Like I want to see all the pages, each page view, right? Like the detail of each page. Yes. So let me get another widget, and here we are at RAM. We will look at all the views. So this is all views. I can make it as view count. So I'll make this a table view. So you can see detail here. And let me add another query. And here, let me get the loading time. So now I'm trying to get more granular level of data. And I can add probably multiple things here. I can get the errors. Okay. So we here inside view, we have the errors, right? So we can get all errors here. Don't have errors at the moment. And what else? I can get a view again. I want to see like time taken for largest content. Largest content full page, and also the first content. So this detail will be available for all the detail, all the pages. Let me go and provide a name for this widget. So this will provide very rich information about our application. You might see that like I only see car rental because my page internally that's kind of the folder which is kind of triggering all the pages. But once I moved in, I added more pages, it will start appearing. So let me also clone this, bring it here. I bring this here. So here, I also want to see the session details, like how many sessions uh, being how many sessions being access my site. So within RAM, I can see the session count. Say total session count. Likewise, there are a lot of other metric which I can extract. So this will be session, all sessions. So I can get this count. So we have a decent uh, chart now where it's all in the group. So I can see from our application front-end perspective, how many pages, the trend, average response time, total session, each page, view count. Okay, we'll have to rename this and say this is view response we'll say latency, errors, LCP, FC. So this will cover our the front end related observability data. And you have to also be mindful. At the moment, I have not put a where clause here, so I'm getting all the detail. So if I created multiple front end applications, then I'll have to group it. So uh, probably uh, one of the grouping is we'll have to check for that particular service. If I look for service tag, or let's look at that service which we can filter this. So let me go back, right? Like, so we are at the real user monitoring, and we'll go into our car rental application. So we look at SDK. So either I'm able to filter it using application ID, or I'm able to do it via service, car rental service. So we will use the service. So here we can go inside here, we can filter for car rental service. But I'll not do that because I'll have to do it for every widget. I'll add a variable. So here service variable name will say from service is currently. Here also currently. And let's add all these widgets into this variable. Now we have the filter based on car rental. So if there's any new apps getting added, we can still, if you have the environment, if you want to filter it for different environment, we can do that. So here we have given environment as env name. I think we give it as prod. So we can add a particular environment and filter it as well. So let just for fun, we'll just see, we'll give it prod. Can see the data. So the environment also we can set. So we have real user monitoring now. Let's edit the env. We'll say ram env. Say prod. Once again, I can add it to all widgets. Have everything good. Now that I have the front-end performance detail, next what I want is I want to enable the service observability, right, for location and other services. So let's get an empty group again. The car service observability. Let's create a widget. I'll go with my favorite time series widget, put it inside here. And now we're going to do it a little differently. Now we will look at API. Most of the time we're going to use our APM metrics. So we'll look at trace HTTP request. So here we can see all the requests coming into our services. Or probably I can create a similar approach as well. Make it a clone. We'll put this as more of a first hits. Here we can see it's called this as total API calls. This is it's again the API call trend. So this is nice. So we have the total API call details. Then I can make a clone, and I probably think you can guess what we are going to do. So we will look at it for errors. So there's only one error, total API errors, where I can clone this one and we'll find out errors here. API error trend. And finally, other detail we want is the response time. Request is actually the response time. Have it like this, and let me clone this, and this will give me the response time trend as well. This is good. So we already getting some meaningful data, and we also want to ensure these dashboards we are able to troubleshoot any failure as well. So in case there's a failure, place where we will go and troubleshoot is our the APM traces. So let's add some of these traces here so that we can easily go and start looking at it. Okay, so let's add the failed traces. So we will get another time series graph here, and here we want to select APM spans. So then we can get the traces, and then let's get the list so that it will display all the traces. And say, so this will only display all the failed traces. This is nice. So any given time, we can easily look at all the failed traces at one place. So next, we also want to see in case if there's a response time increase. So here, that's again, we don't need to see the errors. So we'll have to see when the response time is getting increased. So we can see there are some milliseconds. So here we can do it in such a way that, let's say, duration greater than, let's say, 1 millisecond. So this will only show anything which has taken more than 1 millisecond. So we can write, say, traces more than 1 millisecond. This is good. So this enables us to see a full-fledged detail of car services. We see the API calls, the trend, the errors, the trend, response time, the trend, any failed traces, we can directly come here and check. And then any traces taking time, we can come here and check as well. So just to complete this, let me add logs as well. Right? Let me put a widget. So once load in, we will select the logs. So we get all the logs and we'll put a list so we can see all the logs here as well. So this say if there's anything we can kind of like able to see it real quickly. Now this is happening for location service, but at the moment we did this for car service. But what you have to understand is we haven't put the where clause, right? There was no filtering, right? So let's get it done. Let's take an example. Let's say here, if we give this as service, we are able to give it the car service. So then it will filter for that. So how we can do that? We'll create again a global variable, make it service, we'll say car service. We can get the car service. And let's add those figures. You can see it's 115. This will come down the moment we add it. Errors are disappearing. Add it for the logs as well. So now everything is filtered for car service. You can check there are no errors and you can see it's car service. And the logs also at this time, it's like, okay, let us do one thing. Instead of car service, I think because um, we only send the, let us go back and check what type of logs we send it to here, the Datadog. So you can see we have only sent it the location service. So let me do one thing. I'll rename this to location service. And it's also easy for me. It's not a great change. I just have to change this to location service so that I'm setting the service as location service. So everything get reflected for the location service. We can see now the location service detail and the logs are related to location service. So if you want to do this for car service and other microservice, it's just a matter of replicating it and getting it done. So just the final part, let me add this into the group widget so that we are able to see things in a nice group manner. So we have the location service detail. So we have the API calls, the trend hits, the latency, logs, and the traces. So everything is in one single place. So this is how you will create a car rental app, the SLI dashboard. So this will give a clean picture, a single truth view of the entire application with frontend. I just have to replicate this for other services, then I'll have a very comprehensive dashboard. So I leave it this. You can use it to implement very complex, very outcome driven, productive dashboard for your production systems. Take care. We'll see you in next video.